Okay, just for a second, I want you to imagine something. Imagine the ground beneath your feet isn't solid at all. Picture it cracking open, not into some fiery pit, but revealing this breathtaking view of 7 distinct layered worlds. 7 glowing regions, stacked one right under the other. And each one has its own atmosphere, its own strange light, its own energy. Now, this isn't science fiction. This is actually an ancient vision, a kind of cosmic blueprint hidden deep inside the mystical texts of Kabbalah. And tonight, we're going to unlock its secrets together.
So our whole journey kicks off with this pretty cryptic verse from the Zohar. At first glance, it just looks like a list of names, right? Eretz, Adama, Neshia, Tziya, Arka, Tevel. But, in the world of Jewish mysticism, a list is never, ever just a list. This thing right here, this is a map. It's an ancient key that unlocks a totally radical way of seeing reality. A doctrine of stratified existence, which tells us that the world we're standing on is just the top floor of a huge 7-story cosmic building.
So here's the game plan for our deep dive. First, we're going to unpack this wild idea of a world beneath our world. Then we'll introduce a really cool modern key to help us understand this ancient wisdom. We're calling it the Cosmic Operating System. After that, we dive into the main event, a journey down through all 7 Earths. Then we'll pop back up to understand the divine blueprint behind it all. And finally, we'll bring it right back home to figure out what it all means for us, living in a layered world.
All right, let's start with a foundational challenge. When you think of the Earth, you probably see a single, solid planet spinning in space. But Kabbalistic tradition, especially in texts like the Zohar and the even older Sefer Yetzirah, paints a completely different picture. It tells us that just like there are 7 heavens stacked above us, there are 7 distinct Earths layered right below us. And this isn't about geology, folks. This is about a doctrine of stratified reality. And this right here, this is the central question for our entire exploration tonight. What if our reality, the physical and spiritual world we experience, is just the top layer of a much deeper, way more complex system? The Zohar's answer is a definite yes. It describes a 7-fold structure, a multiverse, not of parallel dimensions way out in space, but layered right here, under our own 2 feet, with each realm being distinct but interwoven and serving a very specific cosmic purpose.
Now, to really get our heads around this ancient map, we're going to use a modern key. We're going to translate these super mystical concepts into a language we all get in the 21st century, the language of technology and systems architecture. This analogy is going to be our guide as we make our way down through the layers.
Okay, so here's the core analogy. Think of the universe as this massive, divinely coded supercomputer. In that model, the 7 Earths aren't just physical places. They're a multi-zone execution environment. You can think of each Earth as a different server with its own rules, its own resources, its own processing power, and each one is designed to handle specific types of cosmic data. Things like souls, actions, consequences, and spiritual energies.
And to make sure everyone's on board, we'll run 2 parallel analogies. For the adults, we'll talk in terms of cosmic engineering. Think layered environments, restricted quarantine zones, and stable production servers. And for the kids, or the kids at heart, we'll frame it like a video game, a journey through 7 different world zones. And each one has its own unique rules, inhabitants, and challenges to beat.
All right, our framework is set. It's time to begin our descent. We are now going to journey through each of the 7 realms, one by one, starting from the top layer, our own world, and going all the way down to the foundational bedrock of reality itself. Let's begin. We're starting in a realm you know very well, Tevel. This is our inhabited world. In this whole cosmic architecture, Tevel is the highest, it's the most balanced, and the most refined of all 7 Earths. The mystics describe it as glowing with this vibrant, balanced light of gold and white. This is the world of humanity, the descendants of Adam, and it's the focal point where the divine plan is supposed to play out.
So let's look at Tevel's unique job. In our tech analogy, this is the stable production environment. It's the live, user-facing app where everything counts. The Zohar says it's sustained by the Spirit of God, which makes it the most stable and balanced server in the whole stack. In game terms, it's the main hub world. It's your home base. And get this, it's the only one of the 7 realms where the souls of the righteous, through their choices and actions, can create a direct, stable connection to the higher spiritual worlds. It's the world of free will, of consequence, and of ultimate purpose.
Okay, now we descend 1 layer down to Arka, and immediately the visual shifts dramatically. The brilliant light of Tevel just fades into this muted gray twilight. Arka is a shadowed world, an intermediate realm with a totally different kind of physicality. The rules here, they're not the same as our own, and the inhabitants, as we're about to see, are different too.
Arka is absolutely fascinating. It's kind of like a staging or beta environment, a server that's online and it works, but it's running on different specs. The Sifra Khazadut Lavraham tells this incredible story of a man from Arka who actually managed to ascend into our world, into Tevel. And he was physically different, totally bewildered by our reality. This story shows that Arka isn't just a metaphor. It's described as a parallel reality that can, on very rare occasions, interact with ours. In our game analogy, it's like you unlocked a shadow realm, a parallel zone you can go on a quest in, filled with NPCs who live by a totally different set of rules.
Descending even further, we enter Tziya. The name itself actually means valley. And visually, that's what this is, a realm of deep, dark chasms and canyons. There's no light here, only shadow. It's not a place where things live, but a place of transition. It's a conduit, a channel for lower-order energies and for the consequences that are flowing down from the world above.
So in our cosmic OS, Tziya's function is critical. It acts like a system log or a processing queue. When errors or negative consequences, sins, happen in the higher worlds of Tevel and Arka, they don't just disappear. The data gets sent down a pipeline to be processed. Tziya is that pipeline. It's a low-resource partition, a dark conduit, where the initial filtering of cosmic justice starts. In a game, this is your classic dark cave, or that foreboding valley you have to pass through, a level that often represents a descent before you face a new challenge.
Our next stop is one of the most haunting realms in this entire structure, Neshia. The name comes from the Hebrew root for to forget. This is the land of forgetting. The atmosphere here is just a dim, disorienting haze. It's a place of spiritual stagnation, where memory, identity, and purpose just fade away into oblivion. The Zohar is super specific about the purpose of Neshia. It's a realm for souls who, during their lifetime, completely disconnected from the cosmic cycle. Specifically, it mentions those who didn't participate in procreation. And not just in the literal sense, but in the spiritual sense of not creating, not bringing new light or life into the world. In our tech analogy, these souls are like corrupted files. They get moved to a decommissioned server and are effectively written out of the active program. The text says they are forgotten for generations. In game terms, it's that dreaded amnesia zone, or a Lost Woods level, where you just wander aimlessly because you've lost your identity and your purpose.
And now we reach the most intense layer of our descent, Tziya. The name means desolation or wasteland. I want you to imagine a vast, cracked desert, but instead of sand, it's scorched earth, and it's glowing with this fierce red-orange light. This, the Zohar says explicitly, is the location of Gehenna. It's hell. It is the physical manifestation of pure, unfiltered judgment.
Okay, now the mystical understanding of Tziya is absolutely crucial. This isn't about eternal damnation in the way a lot of people think of it. In the cosmic OS, Tziya is the ultimate quarantine zone. It's the system's high-intensity debugger. It's a firewall-restricted sandbox where souls with severe corruptions get sent. The intense spiritual heat and fire aren't for punishment, they're for purification. It's a process of burning off the spiritual gunk, of stress-testing the soul until it's clean enough to be put back into the system. This is the classic lava level or underworld in a video game, a place of insane difficulty that's designed for purification and transformation.
Finally, we reach the bottom two layers, the very foundation of this whole structure. First is Adama, which is this dense, dark brown realm of raw, unformed potential. It's the soil that things can grow from. And beneath that, at the absolute base, is Eretz, the foundational spiritual ground itself, the bedrock upon which all the other, more complex realities are built. These last two layers are basically the hardware of our cosmic computer. Adama is the raw material, the unformed potential. It's like the BIOS or the raw silicon. Eretz is the physical motherboard, the uneditable bedrock layer of the game world. It's the lowest level of the operating system's kernel, the fundamental structure that provides the stability for all those more complex dynamic environments we just traveled through to even exist. It's the source of all physicality, the root of all form.
So, we've completed our descent, and that raises a huge question. Why this unbelievably complex, seven-layered structure? Well, to answer that, we have to zoom out and look at the divine blueprint.
So, why 7? Why these specific qualities? Is this whole thing just some random chaotic system? Well, the answer from the Kabbalists is a huge, resounding no. This complex system is anything but arbitrary. It is a perfect, deliberate, and holographic reflection of a divine architectural plan.
And here we find the core secret of the entire system. Each of the 7 earthly regions is a lower manifestation, a physical echo of one of the 7 lower sephirot. Those are the divine attributes through which God's infinite energy interacts with creation. So Tziya, the land of judgment, mirrors Gevurah, the sephirah of judgment. Arka, the transitional world, reflects Yesod, the sephirah of foundation and connection. And our world, Tevel, the inhabited kingdom, is the ultimate reflection of Malchut, the sephirah of kingdom. The entire structure below mirrors the divine structure above. It's that simple.
And to put this in its final context, Kabbalah describes 4 main worlds, this great chain of being that descends from pure divinity. At the very top, you have Atzilut, the world of pure emanation. Below that, Beriah, creation. Then Yetzirah, formation. And finally, at the very bottom, is Asiya, the world of action, which is our physical universe. And the 7 Earths we've just explored, they are the lowest, most physical, most grounded part of this final world of Asiya. They are the final stop in this cosmic cascade of creation.
We've journeyed to the depths of reality, and we've zoomed out to the highest cosmic blueprint. Now, for our final and maybe the most important section, we're going to bring this entire journey back home, back to the individual. Because this external map, it's also an internal one.
This is really the ultimate takeaway. These 7 layers don't just exist somewhere deep beneath the Earth's crust. They exist within each and every one of us. They are a map of our own consciousness. There's a stable, balanced Tevel inside you. That's your higher self, your connection to purpose. There's a shadowy Arka of your hidden potentials. And yeah, there's a desolate Tziya of your deepest angers, judgments, and self-criticisms that needs to be purified.
And so we're going to end with this question for you to take with you. This ancient map is not just some intellectual curiosity. It's a profound tool for self-reflection. If your own consciousness is a world, what layers do you spend most of your time in? Are you living in the balanced light of Temple? Are you lost in the hazy forgetfulness of Neshia? Are you stuck in the fiery judgment of Tziya? The journey through the 7 Earths is, ultimately, a journey into the self.
Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Part S. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.